Hey, welcome back to the Smoking Joe's Man Cave Show. We're knocking out a couple episodes every couple a week or so it's cool. And we're in a weird time period right now with this coronavirus, so we're going to get into it. But I want to, our brother John's here, and of course our other guest and
weekly guest.
I was going to say
regular.
This is the panel, the panel now. Brian Dufort, and Smoking Joe, of course, and I'm Tom Kreger. So we're going to go into it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, but shout outs real quickly for me about every same thing. My kids, our friends in Sandusky. All the time. Our friends I meet everywhere from Mount Pleasant to Midland. Don't know if they see the show or not, but I see kids, get an update on them.
Yep, we get an update.
Hello, Guad. Gotta say hi to Guad every week. So, what do you got, man?
I got a couple shout outs, obviously to my wife Lisa.
Oh, you want to show that?
And my boys, Oscar and David.
Yep.
David behind the camera. Shout out to
The man.
my dad and my niece back in Sandusky. Shout out to her son, Matthias, who I went to a hockey game, Pee Wee hockey game. It was awesome, fun. Was impressed with the little kids and how they could skate, and so it's amazing at that age that 5 years old you can skate.
Hey, I want to say that he plays at the Colleen J. Howe Ice Arena in Sandusky.
Yes.
And Colleen Howe was married to Gordy Howe.
She was a big instrumental in getting that going.
She was born and raised in Sandusky.
It's the first
a lot of people don't realize that.
First time I'd been there, and it's an amazing facility.
It's nice. It's not huge.
Yeah. It's not,
but in the summer they use the fairgrounds, they melt the ice, and they have cattle
Sandusky,
in there. But,
a little town Sandusky to have that is
awesome. Not a lot of people knew that Colleen, everybody knew Gordy Howe.
Yep.
But they didn't know that his wife Colleen was born in Sandusky. That's why they named the arena after her. And actually, when it was built, they were both alive, and they came up and dedicated it. So it was kind of cool. It was a big thing at the time. So, all right.
Last one I got, wanted to do a shout out. This is, Tom has been showing stuff on the man cave. One of my co-workers / football coaches, Owen Russell. Wanted to do a shout out to Owen. I don't know if you can see that, but he did that in his...
Over there.
He did that in his wood shop. And he's the shop teacher, wood teacher for Shepherd.
That's impressive.
School. So he made that, and I wanted to give him a shout out and show everybody the good work. Right?
Does real good work.
Yeah. So. Yep.
All right, Buff. What you got?
Shout out to my wife Colleen, as normal. She's what makes everything go for me. So, and I'd like to specifically shout out someone from Sandusky. The Big D man, he's been going through some
we talked about him last week.
Difficult health issues, and I just want to give him a shout out, tell him we're thinking about him, and want him to get healthier. And
well, we really want him on a podcast.
Yeah, and we will. And so, shout out to him, and I think that's probably it.
All right.
Well, you got to do the shout out to the wife and kids, right? So for my wife Melina and daughters Abby and Emmy, definitely a shout out to them. I'm going to give a shout out to my brother Dave, who he's an assistant softball coach at Midland High.
Okay.
And I guess going to have a little more free time on his hands here lately.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get into that, but so he's floating around town here somewhere right now, and
we can get him on the show sometime.
I'll hit him up for that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, I did forget one shot. I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine. I'm just gonna throw one at the kids to Odyssey, who also are gonna have a lot of free time on their hands right now, and who knows kind of what's going through their head right now. But
we'll do a quick update here in a second. So
no, I just forgot someone on my shout out. I want to give a shout out to my younger brother Pat. He and his wife are having some difficulties with their dog, and they're going through some really tough times. And people that have animals understand that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell them that a shout out to them. They're thinking about.
Well, if you give a shout out to Pat, Send it to him so he can
Well,
watch it.
I will.
I didn't know if he watches it or
He
not.
does. He
so.
predicts it. Don't.
Well, I don't know. He doesn't talk
Yeah,
to
sounds
me,
about
but
right.
he talks to you. So get our nephews and Ben and Pat watching it and all our friends. So hey, I want to give a shout out to Travis. I feel bad for Travis. You met Travis.
Yep.
Travis was planning on going to the Big Ten tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it.
And he's a guest we might invite sometime.
I would love to have
Yeah,
Travis.
he's
I saw him the other
big
day.
baseball guy.
All right.
Yep.
But I feel bad for Travis,
Yeah.
because he's going to Big Ten tournament with his buddies, and I
It's
think
not
they had to
going
turn.
Not going now.
Well, they were leaving Thursday.
Yeah.
I think he was on the road when he probably
Well,
had to turn around
they
and come
probably
back.
still went.
All right. All right, real quickly before we get into the topics, Dave Stuff, he did the stuff for Owen. I'll see this. Probably my favorite pictures is one of when we all got married, I think, isn't it? You can see it better than I did. But mostly it is
different times when we got there.
Mark, Bill, Mitch, Teddy in there somewhere.
Yep.
All of us in weddings and just friends, and I think Lisa put that together.
She did, yep.
Oh my God, that picture is like from when.
That's old school, right?
Oh
there.
my God, that was in the '80s. Then we had the one with you and I and stuff. It was great. My other favorite one of all time is we got this. Lisa did this. It was awesome. Called Friends. It was like last year we got together,
Yep.
took a picture.
Usually we get together at Christmas.
Yeah, it was
for
me
a
and
while.
you and Bubs and Beatty and Ted and Dee, right?
Yep.
And she put a Friends thing on there, so
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah, this is
Good memories.
some of my favorite stuff that Dave has. If you had the, you know what? I want to give a shout out to my mom and your mom,
Yeah.
because
for
you know
sure.
what? Our parents, our mothers kept all this stuff
Yeah, that's the only reason.
for a lot of years. They
These
never
pictures
threw
especially.
things away. We
Yeah.
all had scrapbooks.
I don't think throw things away now either.
No, you don't.
You don't?
Well, your mom made you a scrapbook. My mom made a scrapbook for me and my two brothers.
Yeah.
You never threw pictures away, and you still got them. You know, there's pictures over there. I mean, I love them. I mean, this picture right here is when Ruggs got married.
That was when.
Ruggs got
Yeah,
married.
Rose got married. Yep.
This one was the '80, right before Mitch got married, or we're having a party. My God, I don't even know who that guy is.
Well, if we did football terms, that would be like a
That'd be-
receiver.
That'd be like
now
a
you're like
quarterback.
one technique.
No,
So
I'm like the big old coach that used to coach at Kansas. You know.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. So, all right, let's get moving on. We had our fun. So,
We're gonna start with like an Odyssey update.
yeah, let's do Odyssey. Perfect.
You can already throw a shout out to Odyssey. Definitely.
Hey, I got a question. Did the kids see any of that, or
I showed some
this
kids
week,
it.
or
I just didn't.
get any whiff of our last one?
I don't know.
Okay.
I showed a few kids.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
So
I like to get out, you know, for Odyssey. So Odyssey update.
I'm gonna give that to Brian.
Yeah.
Because he's the mainstay there.
It's got the Odyssey.
Oh yeah, I'm always
on
repping
there.
Repping the O.
Yeah.
Just general or sports? What are we looking at?
Might be
Anything,
combination.
anything. What's
we'll,
going on?
We'll stick with sports first. We just had
Right.
our first and what's probably our last basketball game of the season yesterday. And not too bad. As a coach, I appreciated the effort. I didn't like the score. But
Right.
we got like 39 to 17 or 19, something like that. But in all fairness, the team we played was from Eagle Village up in the Reed City area, and they had played 7 games and had just as many practices, and it was our first game.
Right.
Second half, team came out, played a lot stronger. We probably scored only 4 points the whole first half. So most of everything we did was the second half. So I really like they got down. The attitudes didn't come out. Nobody quit on the team. No tempers flared, and especially within our league, that's a
Right.
big thing.
Yeah.
So it was not a bad first game. Unfortunately, I guess that's our last one.
So
there.
you're probably just waiting for softball season to come around. Get a
I am.
little
We had a bowling tournament also coming up, and that's going to be canceled now. So now we're looking pure softball.
Yeah. Hopefully that. Well, we'll get into that, but hopefully.
a little bit on end of the second try. right, Brian?
Mhm.
We just entered our second
Yeah, we
grade.
just entered second track.
I think that we were pretty happy with the way kids are academically doing better.
I think our grades in general are up a little bit. Our attendance, which is always for alternative programs, is a big thing. Attendance has been on an upward trend, and disciplinary referrals have been down. So overall, kind of things trending upwards.
Sure.
Enrollment has took another good little jump here with third try coming up. So yeah, things overall are looking pretty good.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Good update. What do we got next, man?
So we're going to get into, before we do the Corona, we'll talk a little bit about baseball history. Baseball seasons might be coming up. So we talked about some of the scandals before, mostly about the Astros, but you guys have been kind of bringing some other topics about other scandals in the past.
Well, I know that
So we want to bring that
Brian, history guy, and Bubba's history guy.
Yeah, I mean...
First of all, we're going to throw the Black Sox scandal out there, so you guys both know about that. Well, you seem...
Oh, yeah.
You seem...
Yeah.
You know.
I guess maybe the question is are as we go through this, are they comparable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the one it gets compared to, I mean, it has been compared to the most, I guess, has been Pete Rose just because it involved gambling, but it's not really the same thing.
No.
At all. Very different. But that was where you saw the comparison, at least within baseball.
Right. But team-wise, I mean, Astros.
Yeah, but
White Sox.
let's stay on the gambling with, like Brian said, the gambling part with Pete Rose, because that's similar. You too, with the gambling, you had one side that basically bet against themselves, right? And then you had Pete Rose who bet.
Well,
but
I mean, the Black Sox didn't bet against themselves. They took money to throw it.
Right.
Yeah. Which essentially is kind of, but
in a way,
which to me is worse than what Pete, in my opinion, is worse as a collective group getting together to do that versus, I mean, I don't know how accurate the history is in the movie about Shoeless Joe Jackson's numbers were.
No, that's accurate.
As good in the series as
Is it
they were.
Yeah, Shoeless batted pushing 400, had the only home run, and didn't make an error.
Right. So I mean,
but he took the money.
He took the money
and didn't say anything, which is what Landis, the commissioner, nailed him on. Was like any ball player that's in concert with a gambler, you're just as guilty.
Yeah, and I my personal view, if you compare it to Pete Rose, I mean, I think you've made the case, at least they're both wrong, right?
Right.
Is one less wrong than the other?
How much did Pete Rose actually admit to?
I don't think he ever bet on his own.
He never admitted for a lot of years.
He bet on his own team, but he bet on him to win.
He never bet on.
Huge difference.
He never bet on his team ever to lose.
Right, never to lose.
There's some hypocrisy in Major League Baseball as it pertains to Pete Rose, I think. When you look at the steroid era and some of those issues where it was clear that it made a difference when it came to power and home run numbers. In my opinion, I mean, I could be wrong, but
I think the dividing line, at least maybe officially, why Pete's never gotten back in, is that it wasn't just a cheating thing, it's that it was a gambling thing. Like the G word in baseball since the Black Sox, that's worse than what the Astros did as far as officially. And Pete not just bet on his own team, but was a hardcore gambler, like outside of baseball.
Oh, he used to bet on
and then
he was addicted to it.
Yeah, and he denied for so long that when he did finally come around and admit to it, I think baseball kind of felt like it's kind of late, and
So he's never getting in.
Oh, you know what? I think
maybe when he's dead, I don't know.
I guess to me that Bonds and Clemens and all of them have a better shot than Rose, because I think that ship has sailed on Pete Rose. Unless he gets a Veterans Committee or something years later, like Trammell got.
I don't know.
Well,
I think
they're not going to be able to unless baseball reinstates him, because the
Hall of Fame
officially came out and said that they're late.
He's not reinstated right now.
Right.
And I don't understand that. So Clemens, Rodriguez, Sosa, and them, are they banned from baseball?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
No, but they're not banned like Pete Rose.
They're not.
Well, they played after.
But they're not.
No, but Pete Rose is banned from baseball. Okay, these guys are not. They're not in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
but they still could get in.
And more than likely
They
down
could.
the road.
Rose can't get in
They
because
probably-
he's banned. He can't get on a
Right.
ballot.
Right.
Right?
Now,
The steroid crew, I think their numbers when Hall of Fame election comes up have been creeping up
Right.
each
Yeah,
year. Yeah.
because you get farther from it, right?
Yeah,
I
farther
think-
from it.
Forget.
I think that has more an effect on numbers.
You look at Mark McGuire.
Take
You're
steroids.
right.
I mean, Mark McGuire, to me, those guys, what they did changed the game and changed their numbers long term over the
Right.
course of their career.
Right.
Because I'm telling you right now, if Mark McGuire doesn't get on the juice, he doesn't even touch where he is, in my opinion.
I mean,
Remember him before the juice, right?
Yeah, and he was a
He was-
prolific. And that's what people say.
He had
Well,
home
he had
runs.
49
Man.
home runs as a rookie,
But
but
he was skinny. though.
never would have done
Remember?
it long term.
Never.
Remember how
Of
tall-
course,
That's what steroids do.
that's
right?
my
Right.
point.
Yeah.
And when you're
Great
in
point,
your
yeah.
30s and all that, and it keeps you where you were 10 years ago
Right.
when you weren't on the juice, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, to
I don't-
me, it's all a longevity thing with these guys,
I don't-
and
yeah.
it's completely unfair.
I don't see them ever
Yeah.
getting into my book. I mean,
Well, they shouldn't. I mean, if you're gonna,
I think they will, and I think
You
it's
do.
unfortunate
Yeah.
just because, like, I am like a old school baseball purist, and the thing baseball has is the history to it,
Right.
and those numbers completely skew. Like people,
Yeah.
50 years down the road, when they look at the record books and see Barry Bonds over Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth, sorry, but
not even
that's
not real.
No,
No.
and it's too bad for Aaron and Ruth,
Right.
you know, and you can't get that back.
in an
Right.
era where those guys, when the ball wasn't juiced, the players weren't juiced, and I mean,
Mickey Mantle was juiced a lot.
well, he was juiced on different
Different
things.
juice.
Yeah, him and Whitey Ford now.
So
And they did stuff too.
Oh,
I mean, they were,
absolutely.
amphetamines came through
Yeah.
Oh,
time,
yeah.
one time, and
Absolutely.
cocaine
But
and
they were,
stuff.
I
but-
think they were doing things so they could actually play. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Taking injections and doing all the things they were doing
Yeah,
to their bodies.
they weren't working out
Stay away,
and
kind of
lifting
bus
weights.
trip.
Yeah.
They weren't lifting weights every day or
No.
whatever. They were just trying to get up in the morning after their hangover
Right.
and try to get to the stadium the next day. So
So maybe these guys, steroid guys, and never Pete Rose. Is that what I'm hearing you guys say?
that's kind of my feeling.
There was a ESPN special came out not long ago. I don't know if you guys saw that was about this.
I
It was
didn't
about
see
it focused on Rose and the Black Sox and kind of compared them a little bit. It was
okay.
really pretty good. And a lot of the insiders in baseball, they're like they've washed their hands of Rose.
Yeah.
So it would take a whole new generation of leadership for Major League Baseball to come through. I think for Pete to have a chance,
Well-
and then maybe down the road, maybe.
I didn't know he was still banned. I mean, I guess.
Well, you know,
he needs
Pete,
to be reinstated.
you know,
first, but-
Pete Rose is actually the first Donald Trump because he can't keep his mouth shut. I like Trump in certain things, but you know, Pete Rose, you know, he can't keep his mouth shut and just kind of let it go and try to make peace. He's got to
Or
stir
even
things
come out with
up.
a strong apology for what
Well, I
he
think
did,
that's
which he has not done.
yeah.
Would she?
He wrote a book and then gave a half-hearted apology during his book tour. You know,
I still think he feels like he was unjustly
Right.
oh,
tried
I think for sure.
by Bart Giamatti.
Well, he feels his merits on the field is what they should
Yeah.
look at, and not
That too.
what happened. I don't know
can't
when
question
he
this.
played if he gambled.
Well, you know, Pete got the last laugh.
Yeah, I
with
don't know
Bart
about
Giamatti
that.
I don't know
because
about
that
When
guy
he,
had
well,
a
he was a
massive heart
player
attack.
manager
That's
with
right.
Cincinnati,
Right.
so
Yeah.
technically speaking.
But-
But you know, to bring it back to Shoeless Joe, like I don't know if they do let Pete in, right? Well, do you keep Shoeless Joe out? Who? Yes, you took money, but you didn't do anything
You
to throw
know,
that game.
Brian, that's a great question because I thought about this. Why are people pushing back so much on Shoeless Joe Jackson to get in the Hall of Fame in almost 100? It's 100 years.
Yeah.
That's the thing about
You
baseball.
know, you know,
It's the history.
they can forgive some stuff, but they can't forgive Shoeless Joe, an illiterate guy who
Well,
couldn't
and
read
also-
that got
and
suckered in, but
I agree.
still played
But
his
I'll
ass
tell
off.
you, to me, you guys talked about it already. I know I'm not an expert on what Houston did, but I think those guys should be thrown
Well, that's
to the wolves.
where I was.
I
going
think
with
they
that.
should take away their championship. I feel incredibly strong about that. A lot of people don't feel that way, but to me,
I think a
they
lot of
did
people
what
do.
they did to
Yeah.
the game was every bit as egregious as to me what some of these other people have done, and they did it knowingly, right? Knowingly what they were trying
Technology.
to do.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, they're-
I think they're too late on them.
But you know, I want to
Anyway, you already talked about it, but
This topic with Houston, it would be a great topic for all four of us to come back and talk about.
Yeah.
But we want to get to that.
Well, I want to throw in really
Yeah.
quick.
We'll finish it up.
Though that,
I want to get back to that though.
yeah. Well, with the Black Sox, Houston used technology and whatnot
to gain an advantage.
Yeah, to gain an advantage. Chicago came in and they tried to throw the one series, and the problem at the time was that gambling was rampant through the game.
Oh yeah.
And I think
Arnold Rothstein.
Yeah. And Landis was brought in, first commissioner right there. Landis was brought in to clean that up and change it, kind of shut the door on the gambling. And I think that set that bar so high. Now with Houston, I think you look at like the players, nothing really happened other than publicly, and like is enough of a lesson taught there to prevent it, or are they just going to find another sneakier way to do it later on?
In that
because you're not slamming the door shut on it like they did with the first guys.
That's how I feel about it.
In that Amen Out movie I watched, it was just so apparent that they were cheating. I mean, they're dropping balls. They're misplaying. Houston basically was just stealing signs. I'm not saying anything what they did was wrong. But the Black Sox, I mean, they basically came out, and you're watching the team that everybody knew they were cheating.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then,
the other thing is, too, the series was most likely fixed the year before. You never hear anything about that.
Yep.
I mean, it had been going on, whereas Houston, like, as far as we know, they're the first one to bring it to this level, so that might make it even worse.
But
Maybe even worse.
And not to condone the players back in the Black Sox, but again,
they
one
were
of the
making no
things
money.
is they were making nothing from
Yeah.
a financial perspective as players, while the game was making money. And I'm not in any way condoning what they
It was
did.
like,
I'm just saying that it's,
what did they say? Charles Comiskey was like
the old Roman, they call him.
worst
So-
owner ever. He was so tight.
giving those guys some money who were not making a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's
it's good
probably hard to pass up, right?
Oh, for
Where
sure.
these guys are all making millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's a good
use
point,
the
yeah.
word greedy. You can use the word whatever you want to use of why they chose to do what they did. But
Well, and if those guys win the series, they got a bonus. There's even more reason to want to win, whereas now,
right.
yeah.
So,
All right.
Good
Sounds
topic.
good.
We'll
All right.
revisit that.
What do we got?
So, got to
We
open
got
it up.
we gotta
We
do it.
Let's talk about the coronavirus and what it means to sports, obviously.
Or
is the number-
society too.
Well, we'll get to that too, but definitely we're a sports show at the heart. So, want to see what you guys' opinion was on how this has played out. Maybe at the professional level first, because I think the NBA was the first to really shut down their league. And
I think the NBA set in motion everything.
people are saying that. So if they don't stop the season, does it still continue to?
Oh, well, no, probably not. What do you guys?
What do you guys think?
We'll get around to us.
Well, I think whether it's sports or whatever, I think all the cancellations, a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, well, they're just trying to stay home to not get sick. And, if you really read what the officials are saying about it, the whole idea is just to slow the spread down.
Yep.
So when you get into those arenas and you've got tens of thousands of people and whatnot, you're and they're from all over the country. It's just upping the ability to spread that.
I
that
think
much
they're
quicker.
taking a very hard, aggressive approach to what they're trying to do to limit the spread. So it's not as long term. It probably reduces their overall numbers significantly by doing these kind of things, and social distancing, which is essentially the term they're using to, for people to not, be around a lot of public places with people, and ultimately there will be a spike in cases in the country once they start testing everybody. I don't know what that number will be. It's certainly, and I'm not getting political, but for Bernie Sanders yesterday to come out and say that there'll be more casualties than World War II is one of the most idiotic, stupid things I've ever heard. Should be held accountable for his actions, and
He ain't gonna.
no,
be
but that
elected,
is
so.
in this kind of environment inciting something that I think is ridiculous to do. So you just I don't know why he said it. I wish he wouldn't have. I know why he said it. He's still trying to be relevant, right? That's the word. But anyway, so I think they're just trying to take a hard approach to limit the scope, so it's not as long term. But you will see a spike in numbers. I don't know about the death rate, but
Well, this is not the first pandemic we've had.
No.
We've talked about that before.
been a while.
10 years
What,
ago.
swine flu, right?
No, 2009.
2009.
2008 was
Swine flu.
Yeah.
Who was the vice president then?
Well,
Joe Biden?
It doesn't matter, but what was the deaths from swine flu? 40,
It was almost 14,000.
14, 15?
I
Worldwide.
don't believe that got declared a pandemic.
Maybe not.
It was not. It was not.
But I think that this is not going to be the last.
No,
type of thing
No,
we get.
but you didn't see the type of reaction to this, and maybe the CDC and those folks have better information.
I think there was
about-
I read 20 million people affected by.
It was a lot.
at that time in some form or another.
Yeah.
I
And
think
maybe they should have done something.
Maybe they
similar.
should have.
I think the closest comparable thing, or the
19
most recent, was the 1918 influenza.
Yeah.
Right.
And hey, maybe our leaders are going to look at history a little bit and try to learn from it, which is a nice
That would
change
be nice.
from both parties.
Yep.
But the one thing that really stands out with that was in Philadelphia, they had a parade planned, and the mayor was told to cancel it, and he didn't. And then it just skyrocketed and Philadelphia is one of the hardest hit cities in the whole city, or the whole country. And so I think this is kind of, we're seeing maybe a lesson from that, don't put large amounts of people, close
Together,
quarters,
right.
all together until things level out. So
Yeah, and I think that's a smart approach.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think we're in agreement there that
I guess my opinion's.
Tom's a little different. I think he's.
I
We
just
won't
don't.
hear that.
I just don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, I'm 55. So are you. We're in the same era. We've seen stuff come and go, but to there's been 40 people die.
In the United
I
States.
feel bad about the 40. We've had 1,000 cases. We've had 135,000 cases in the whole world, with a population of 8 billion. So we're gonna have 40 people who passed away,
Well,
shut down the whole country.
I think it's different than that. For one thing, is there's way more
I
than
get-
135,000 cases, right?
Well, it probably
There's only
is.
been 135,000 identified. There's probably what?
No, I'm not saying there's not an
twice that or
epidemic.
3
I
times
just don't know why it is just.
this
This is different
This
than.
one stands out compared to SARS and swine flu and stuff a little bit differently in that because 80% of the people that get exposed to it, if they come down with it, it's a mild case.
Yeah.
Right. So what's going to happen is that people walk around not knowing that they have it whatsoever,
And they're
and then
Oh, I
they
understand
transplant.
that.
And then as you get to that 50-year-old and older, with any kind of chronic health issues. And then especially when you hit that 80 mark is the thing. At 80% or at 80 years old and older, it's got a lethality to it.
Yeah, out of the 20% that will have symptoms and get sick, the people that are dying are a fairly small percentage, but they're definitely in that higher age
I
bracket
know.
with pre-existing
I just-
conditions. and-
Well,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah,
we talked
right.
about that.
Yeah.
and so what they're trying to do
Is limit the spread.
the spread of that.
I understand that. I just don't know why everything's shut down. Everything.
Well, we can talk about schools. Let's talk about schools. The schools are shut down, right? In Michigan and other states. I mean, was it the right move?
Sports.
I mean, we're a sports show, but
GM sent workers home. Chrysler sent
I-
workers home today.
If you don't shut as many doors as possible, you're leaving a lot open for things to trickle through.
Well-
And the whole idea, I mean, there's a really good graph out there that shows that if you don't do anything, where the numbers spike. And the problem is that about halfway up that spike, our healthcare system gets maxed out.
yes.
So
I heard that point
we
today.
shut the door and we limit everything for this,
Yeah.
even this short period of time, this 3 week period of time, and then that spike levels out a lot more, and it stays within what we can manage.
And they want the people that are truly sick to be in the hospital.
to be able
Right.
to get,
That-
I
and
think
that's
what you
why
said, to
what
be
the-
able to get the service.
What they're going to be
Right.
doing is these drive-by
Testing.
drive-by testing,
I saw that.
where if you meet criteria, I think you have to meet criteria. They'll just
That's
take
what
it.
they're shooting for.
I think
yeah.
which is a certain time. I don't know what the criteria is.
I guess I'm not up to date on this, but is we are shutting down the whole country because I know people over 80 especially are dying, but we've had 40 people die, and people are getting sick with a little cough and little respiratory thing, but then it goes away.
Well, I think
And
to
you know
Brian's
what?
point, what I saw in China was they had to build hospitals as quick as they could because
Yeah.
they couldn't because
Well,
everybody starts getting sick.
No, I agree with everything you guys are saying.
It's
I'm
a
just
limited
confused
number.
because
The
why
numbers
is
are
everything
small
just,
here right now because number one, we're late into testing, and number two,
I don't
it's
think
taken
we're late
long.
in the testing. I mean, I think what they
I think it's
where they're
It is debatable.
where they might be late in testing, but they were not prepared to ramp up the type of testing for the quantity of people
I guess yes, right.
that they've. And you know, you can blame who you want, but when it comes to government, I'm sorry, but it is not the most efficient model for getting things done quickly or red tape. So that is why, by the way, and I'll put a plug for the private sector, that they've now worked with the private sector and cut red tape in order to get these testing kits up to date and in large quantities so they can test people and get better numbers quickly. And I mean, I give the whole spectrum, the medical community, the government, I give them all kudos for trying to get on top of this because it moves quickly every single day.
When I say we're getting late to testing, I guess
Yeah.
I think there's a belief that we should have we saw it kind of coming and we could have started acting sooner.
Yeah.
Preemptively.
And I agree.
Preemptively.
And I think they did on.
But you know,
on the
Trump did
prevention.
shut down the southern border February 2nd.
That's
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
I-
got nothing to do
still-
with it.
Yeah, I actually think the thing.
No,
I
but
actually think
no,
the thing
it's
he did the
unrelated.
best.
No, people
was
came
what
out
he
and
did in
said,
January by stopping from China.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
he
that's
did,
what I meant.
Which he did very early.
You know,
and give him kudos for that.
I'm not giving
I'm not going to get political on
a
it
Trump
because
thing, but you know what? They're coming out and say he didn't act quick enough. But you know what?
it wouldn't have mattered who the president was. I mean,
You can have both sides.
The CDC came out today and said they were not prepared, based on their current past models, to handle this type of virus and quantity. Therefore, they've had to change how they are going to handle testing and everything. So you can make the case of this shoulda, woulda, coulda, who did it, who didn't do it. I mean, if he would have shut down the borders in January and shut down all international travel in January, they would have had his scalp because there would have been no known conditions in the U.S. and said, "Why are you doing this?"
I mean,
So
it's a tough one. Yeah.
It's a tough one either way. And I'm not going to make a case.
I do have a question for Tom.
Yeah.
Though. What do you, I mean, you're the one person here that doesn't necessarily agree with shutting things down. What would you have liked to see happen?
You know what? I don't know. Probably shut it down, I guess. I
Why
just don't understand why, you know, they're going to have the basketball tournament with a limited amount of fans and parents.
So maybe that's what you're saying. Maybe they could have played.
Well, they were going to, you know, they're going to do the golf tournament with no fans. You know, wouldn't affect anything. NASCAR's still going to race this week
I
with
think
no
I think with the
fans.
basketball tournament, you're talking about bringing in numbers of kids from spread out all over the country, including areas that are heavily infected. Because how do you tell a school from Washington, which is hit really, really hard, we can't come because you've got, you know, it's really
No.
getting out
I'm
of
talking about high school, like districts.
Okay. Well, I was
District
talking
finals.
NCAA.
No, I'm talking about districts with
But
you
all
got
you need
50
is
people
one.
on
All
one
you
side.
need is one kid to have
I
it.
understand that.
And if you're out there breathing hard,
Right.
You know what?
sweating on
In
somebody,
my years experience, in my life, I've never seen everything shut down. For
Right. I mean, this
Well,
is
and-
unprecedented.
There's some
we've had
Absolutely.
viruses that have been actually worse than this. You know,
Yeah, it's still debatable.
swine
Maybe
flu.
it's a combination of its.
It's a different era. I
Potency.
understand that, but
Well,
I
it's
think
just
that.
like
the spread is worse than other viruses. I don't think that the mortality rate is necessarily higher than other viruses. When you do a percentage.
Okay.
Not
Sure.
a number. I mean, but it could be worse,
Could
right?
be.
If you
Could be.
spread to a lot more people and more people die, then it's worse.
I mean, that's what we're talking about, right?
But
Stopping it
from a
before it gets
percentage perspective, what they're showing now, it doesn't seem to be significantly higher than other viruses they've had in the past. But I think this one spreads differently.
No, I'm-
is what I understand.
And that's the
Sort of-
thing. It's that whole thing that it's hidden. And you,
Right.
like, so with SARS and stuff, I started saying this earlier, that when somebody came down with this, you got sick. If you got it, you got sick.
And
And you were identified and you were set out. And with this, you don't have that. And so you've got to kind of throw that wide net.
I understand that. I'm just confused because I've never seen
It's-
everything.
But what you will
Everything
see,
shut
but
down.
what you will see is when that number starts to do this, you will see everything come back in,
Yeah.
in
Well, it's
very
all-
quickly.
Well, especially at school, like, we're off 3 weeks. If things get better and all of a sudden that little spike, are they going to say, oh, we got to do another week or another week? Or
Well, that's actually a comment I made earlier today at school that, like, I get why they're doing it right now because everybody's kind of doing it right now.
Right.
So shut the door, try to stop it or slow it. But if you still have people that travel around at spring break, if they still do,
Absolutely.
So we have our time off. We come back spring break, and then a week after spring break, you see another bit of a
spike.
Are we going to have to take another 2 weeks after that?
Right.
That's where I'm kind of wondering how things might play out.
Interesting thing I just thought of, would you be an advocate for anyone that has to travel has to pass some minimum level of screening?
I
I mean,
don't know.
it's a hypothetical question.
I-
You're
right,
a traveler.
right.
You're a traveler.
I
Me
mean,
too.
right now, I would say no because number one, I don't know exactly how you would manage that. How are you
I'm
going
just
to?
saying, if you could get out an airport before you
Well,
get to the airport, and you go
it
through
started-
security and they take your temperature.
Right. Well, that kind of stuff is starting.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
The cruise industry is starting to require like a healthy traveler form and whatnot. They put out. I could not go on a cruise this spring break even if I want to take advantage of the $25 a day tickets because I have diabetes. And if you have any kind of ongoing health issue, they do not want you cruising at all right now. So that's starting, and we're supposed to fly to Florida for spring break. And I was talking with my wife today about, I'm like, I would not be surprised at all if they start to limit, air travel and whatnot. Just because it is
It's true.
large volumes of people in a small little contained space going all over the country.
But
now,
you
driving
may not,
around,
you may
I
not
don't know
have
about
any other issues other than that, though.
Hmm.
The issues that happen with these people that have and actually I'm a type 2 diabetic myself, is if you have another condition with that, like if you're compromised on your breathing or you have some
High blood pressure.
high blood pressure,
Boom, I got two.
heart issues, right? And are you healthy? Are you healthy now? And kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know where it's going. It's probably going to be 3 weeks or a couple weeks of chaos. I know that the stock market, it's affecting everything.
Up and down.
Oh, yeah.
It's trillions of dollars have left, but I think that again, it will come
Right.
back. It will.
That's actually
So,
what I told some students
it's a temporary
today.
thing.
Yeah, that once this kind of get
Yep.
through it,
And
It's
next
gonna
time we
rebound
get
quicker.
together, we'll probably be on the same topic.
Well,
Because I don't think it's going away
Yeah.
real
I think
quick.
we have to revisit this because it's unprecedented.
It is.
Everything is-
And you know what? We're kind of like in limbo right now.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. Maybe in a week we'll know better, or 2 weeks we'll know better, or
Yeah.
3 weeks we'll know better. But right now, it's a good topic we brought up as far as understanding. I'm trying to understand it. I've learned a lot listening to you guys talk about
we do.
this.
Wash your hands.
And
Yeah.
well,
I mean, the basic stuff is
no,
what
but
you should always
but
do.
I
Cough in your
but I
elbow.
did. I actually, I had opinion, but I listened to you guys, and you guys made a lot of sense. But this is going to carry on, and this is something that we'll have to get into next time. And I tell you what, I want to make one comment before you close it out. I really thought that it was great to have all four of us
I was gonna
in
say
a
the
group,
same thing, yeah.
group tonight.
I'd like it to be
Because
ongoing,
we've had special guest John, special guest Brian
Yeah.
do their special team, special stuff, which I still kind of want to do, but I like the full format
Yeah.
there
I
a
think
lot too,
Yeah.
because we have a lot to share.
I was gonna say this was kind of Tom's idea. He's texts us all day long with ideas, but to bring you guys together, I think was a great idea.
Yeah.
And you guys have your specialties, so to speak.
We'll do that, but you know what? You guys have a lot of special stuff that in common that shown tonight,
Yeah.
which I was really happy about.
I
So,
like it. Fun. So.
yeah.
All right.
What do you say, man?
We want to close her out?
all right, for the Smoking Joe Man Cave show, another great show, and hopefully we'll get back next week. I know.